This is Morgan Ortagus representing the United States at the UN voting against a Gaza ceasefire, the only country that raised their hand, of course. So I decided to go on her Instagram to just see who this woman was that would do something like this. And of course, like clockwork, she has this quote about Jesus in her bio. Nawal al-Saadawi talked about how religion is politics. And I think there is no better example of this than white Christianity. Depending on what their political goals and aims are, white folk will wield religion in a way that benefits them, but it always comes at the expense of people of color, typically, or poor people. A really good example is what the British did in their colonies. So the British went to these colonies, they extracted immense wealth from them, but one of the lasting legacies that they left in these countries was homophobia. In almost every single colony, they enacted these anti-buggery laws. And so while doing that, they spread these messages of hate, like amongst the population, using the Bible and God's word as an excuse. But it's really interesting if you look at the messages that are spread about homosexuality in Britain today, it's one of acceptance and tolerance, right? But while the UK can be a safe haven for gay people, their former colonies are not. In fact, their former colonies are some of the most dangerous places for someone to be gay. The same can be said for American evangelicalism and people like Morgan Ortagus, and to be honest, a lot of people in the Republican Party. These people call themselves Christian while spreading messages of hate, racism, sexism, while they pass laws where they take food out of poor people's mouths, literally advocating for the death penalty, shooting down laws that would make children safer in school, and none of it really makes sense. But that's because it's not actually about religion, it's about politics. And it's really interesting for me as someone who grew up in a Christian country, like comparing the Black community and how they worship God, it is completely different. Because I think to a certain extent, the Bible and the teachings of Jesus Christ are internalized a lot more by Black people and people of color in general. We live communally. We give to the needy and the poor. I think when Christianity was taught to Black people and people of color, it was done so with politics in mind, with the intention to subjugate us, to pray our troubles away, while still encouraging us to be good people. But this version of Christianity that these people believe in doesn't actually encourage that. And this is why you have people like her, who considers themselves Christian, probably thinks they're going to go to heaven, but can vote against a ceasefire that would save thousands of lives.